Good afternoon, YouTubers. It's been a while since I've produced a video and like an actual in-shop video. Today we're doing something a little bit unconventional. We're not working on a small engine. Okay, we're not working on a tractor or a small one-cylinder engine. Today we're working on a 1996 Subaru Outback Legacy. It's got the 4-cylinder opposed twin, which is a lot better than my opposed twin sitting in the red building. But today we're doing an oil change, air filter check, fluid check, and a tire rotation and brake inspection. Now, this is not the project vehicle I've mentioned in the past, or you might have seen floating around. This is actually my father's car. So far, what I have done, I've pulled the drain plug, which, for those who are wondering, that's a 17 millimeter. That's a 17 millimeter wrench, and I've pulled the. Well, you can't really see. I've pulled the oil filter. The oil's dripping. I got a new washer for the drain plug. So, now the oil we're putting in today is. This is the brand we're using. There's the weight. I'm not sponsored by the product you're going to see. I'm not sponsored by any of them. This is just what I use in my shop. So you're going to use Pennzoil. I got a Fram filter. There's the number if you're wondering. And since this is an older vehicle, I'm going to put a little bit of this STP in it, just because it's an older vehicle. Now, when you pull your oil filter off, sorry, I'm doing this left-handed. First thing you want to do when you pull your oil filter off, make sure this rubber gasket here is on this filter and not stuck to the block. This is stuck, that ring is stuck to the block. You're going to lose oil pressure really freaking quick, because that will squirt all over the place. Let me get a light. Okay. Let me get the camera in the face straight. Okay. Now that I got a light under here, you can see what I'm talking about. This here is where your oil filter goes on. Now, you're going to need an oil filter wrench, something like this, to get it, to take the filter off. I'm wiping this down with a lint-free paper towel. Alright, now, this is your new filter. What some people do, they'll write down the date and the mileage on the filter. But what I like to do is, this is good practice for people. Some manufacturers will want you to fill your filter first before you stick it on there. The owner's manual for this vehicle says I don't have to, but what I like to do is put oil on this ring, out on this gasket, and a little bit of oil on the threads. I'll do that real quick, and I'll get back to you. Okay, now this is a close-up video, or close-up, sorry about that. There, I got some oil on the threads, I got some on the gasket. Now you just spin it on there. Not very good. Give me a second, I'll get it on there. There we go. Alright. Now, some people say you tighten it with the wrench. There's a certain torque spec for these and all that. Honestly, I've been doing this since I was a little kid. I have plenty of experience doing this. I've never had one leak, and they've always came back off in my next oil change. Just spin it on there and put it on there as tight as you can with your hand. There we go. It's as tight as I can on my hand. And another thing, always make sure your vehicle is up on a. If you're using jack stands, make sure the vehicle is secure. I'm using these nice ramps. I just bought these a couple months ago, and I've been trying them out, and I've been absolutely in love with them. But safety's always first. Gloves, safety glasses, your basics. I ran out of gloves, so, but I do have my safety glasses on. Wipe down your area. Make sure everything's nice and clean. This, you just tighten it down as best you can with your wrench. Don't over tighten it. Don't strip this out, because this is going to be a pain in the butt if you strip it out. You have to get a whole new oil pan, and that is not cheap. So you just tighten it up best you can. Your owner's manual says a certain spec. Go by what the manufacturer says to torque this. I'm going to go grab my torque wrench. I'll torque this down after I figure out what the torque spec is. Now you may be wondering what to do with your used oil. What we have always done with all the engines we've redone and all the oil changes, we always put the old oil back in the container for the new oil. Like we'll take this oil, put it in the car, take this oil and put it in here. Then we'll mark it used and we'll take it to our local recycling center to get the oil properly recycled. I've said earlier we're going to put a little bit of SDP oil treatment. Reason why I use SDP oil treatment in my older engines is because they're older. This stuff has anti-wear additives, which is great for the older engines. I will not run this in an engine I rebuilt, but I will use a small amount of this with my own special rebuild oil or assembly oil that I make, and I have nothing but luck with. Now, when you're mixing SDP with your engine oil, make sure you read the instructions. 1 bottle for every 4 to 5 quarts. This motor will take all 5 quarts of this. And this is a brand new bottle, so I'll put this whole bottle of STP in this 5-quart jug as the instructions say. Alright, I just added the STP. Now I'm going to shake this bottle up to thoroughly mix the oil, and then we'll put it right in the engine. Okay, I just went and grabbed the funnel. We're over here. We're now going to fill the engine with oil. I'm going to switch hands. Now, some people will pour it in like that. A little trick I've been doing for years is tilt the bottle sideways. Pours in a lot smoother. You have a lot more control, and then you get all the oil in. I'll turn the camera. I'll go ahead and fill this up, and I'll come right back to you when we check the oil. Alrighty. After I just put the oil in, I took the funnel, stuck it in my oil bin. I have a giant 55-gallon drum that I take down to the oil recycling center. But at home, you would put it right back in your can, and you will take it out to the recycling center. Now that the oil's in there, we'll wait a little bit. Now would be the time you take your vehicle off your jack stands. I'm going to back the vehicle back up a couple feet off these here. Let it run for a little bit to put oil all throughout the lube system inside the engine. After that, shut the engine down. Wait a couple minutes. Then, pull your dipstick. Wipe it. Stick it back in. Count to 10. Then, pull your dipstick out, and it'll tell you how much oil is in it. See, where is it? On this car, focus, there's 2 notches. Actually, there's 2 holes. There's a lower hole and an upper hole. The oil level should be either to the top, covering the top hole, or in between. Some dipsticks will have lines on it. Sorry that I'm shaking. It's kind of hard to hold stuff with my left hand. Your oil level should be to the top hole or in between. Do not overfill your car. So, I'll fire this up, get the oil through it, and I'll check it. Alright, now with your paper towel, I fired the engine up and let it run for a little bit and then let it sit. Now, take your paper towel, wipe your dipstick. I'll wipe this off real quick off camera because this is like a two-hand job, and then I'll come back to it. I'm not sure how well you can see, but I just wiped it, stuck it back in, and we're right up to the second hole on this dipstick, meaning this vehicle is full. Now, if you're not quite up to that hole, make sure your vehicle is on a flat, level surface. Alright? Must be on a flat, level surface. Then, check it again. If it's still a little bit low, put a little bit more oil in there. You want to fill that up till you cover or be just under that full mark. After that, congratulations, you've changed your oil. Check before you go out and drive, make sure you check underneath that there is no leaks and no oil. Always check your oil I usually check the oil on this every 3 days just to be sure because my dad does drive this a lot. This is his daily. So, I check it often. If it needs oil, I'll add a little bit of oil. Now, if you're losing a lot of oil, I would consider maybe taking this to a mechanic and seeing what's exactly wrong with it. So, thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. If you like working on these bigger engines, like automobile and some car videos, let me know in the comment section. Go out, change your oil. Adios.